Hey everyone, Clint Butler here. This is the video I promised for WebPage Schema. I'm going to walk through the template, kind of show you what you're getting. And then there is an example of this live and in place for you as well. So you can see how one built out and then with the template to kind of use to get started on your own. So with that, let's get started learning on how to implement WebPage Schema for better SEO. So let's scroll down and we're going to look at the real world example. This is the, if you were following along the website, this is the breadcrumb schema markup schema. It's a basic, there's no thrills to it whatsoever. This is kind of I would argue the minimum that you should, well, it's not the minimum you can get away with, but it's probably the minimum you should do just when you're publishing a brand new post. Okay, there's some, significant links tied into the website, and you got the images in there. This can be a little kind of a pain in the ass if you're doing the image stuff, so it takes a little bit longer than just doing the normal web page schema, connecting it to the website schema, and then adding significant links. That's like the minimum. But I added image schema as well because I created a prompt that helps me make image prompts, and then it makes the image alt tags and title tag and all that stuff, the image metadata, and then it gives me the schema. So the process for me is a little bit faster now than it normally would. So that's the only reason at a minimum I might add image object schema now. This is the actual schema built out, the web page schema built out for the website schema blog post that we talked about last week. And this is it all filled out. This is all the information in it, significant links in there. The video is in there. The sound, the audio is in there. The images are in there. It's all fleshed out in its entirety. It does take a little bit longer to make these, but that being said, you like the audio object schema, for example, you can start with a really good base. Well, you have my template now, but you can start with a real good base inside of ChatGPT, for example. Here's the URL. Here's the audio object schema URL. Make an audio schema for this, and it'll pop out like most of it. And then I added the about to it on my own, and then the creator. So you can, if you did a different, you can see that these two are, they're pretty similar, but distinctly different at the same time. So here's the template, and it's the template that I used to make the website schema, the website schema pages schema. That's a mouthful. So let's go through this real quick. You get the page URL. It tells you exactly what to fill in there, alternate name. This is like this could be my title tag, for example, and then this could be the H1, and then this could be the first H2, and then this could be another version of that, right? So that's kind of how you think about how to make those. Same with description. This would be the meta description, and then I have a prompt that makes a disambiguated description as well at the same time. So my prompt, I give it the title tag, and it gives me the meta description, and it gives me the disambiguated description at the same time. So it knocks that out. Significant link. I have 3. Again, if the page is a part of a silo, put the other silo pages in there. If it's a supporting page for a primary service, for example, if I did a service about writing SEO schema for your business, that was my service, writing SEO schema for your business, then all of these schema pages would have one link to writing your SEO schema. That sales page in there. And then maybe it would also have the links to the other one. So website, breadcrumb, web page, and it'd all be listed in there. So my silo is supported again in there. Page URL is obvious. Keywords, again, don't go stupid with this. Use some common sense. Google is not going to rank your page based off of those, so don't fill it out with a gajillion of them and think you're doing something special. You're actually not. Make sure you go through there and be smart about it and just add those in there. Could Google one day start ranking for them? Sure, but at the end of the day, right now they're not doing that. So you're just helping say what the page is about. About mentions, again, I use this to fill those out. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. If you want to keep it simple, like InLinks does it. They have one or two abouts and then one or two mentions. They don't go crazy. Zista, you can end up with a lot of them if you wanted to. In the other, what is it? I think topical relevance is still outputting. But for the most part, you don't necessarily need a whole lot as long as you're telling what the page is about. So play with it. You'll get to know your niche a little bit. You can see how much you need and how much you don't to pull that out. It is part of the website. So if you follow the training in the website, how to implement website schema video, that is already on across the website. And then when you put this URL in there and fire it off, marking the ad ID the same, it'll keep the web page schema and populate all of your website schema inside of here. So your organization stuff and all that will all be populated right inside of there as it's intended. And then halves part, there's the images. I kept it at 3. And then the video object and the production company. And I'm not tying back specifically with the ad ID. You don't want to do that multiple times because it shows that schema over and over and over and over again. And you only need it once. So I just type organization and there's you out to my homepage. Is based on, and then video is based on URL. So that's the URL of this page. So if for the website, the video is based on, and then it goes to that website schema post, right? Or I could do the SoundCloud URL if I wanted to. The video is based on the SoundCloud URL, and the SoundCloud URL is the audio from the video. You can play around with that at the same time, but I just use the video, the blog post URL in there. Again, same with the publisher. Just your organization. You can do that. You put name, or you can put brand. I just put name, and then teaches. What does it teach? And you can get a summary off of, say, Notebook LM of the video, and get a little tiny snippet here. I don't necessarily think that you have to go too crazy. Just think of that almost like a disambiguating description. Or you can just add a keyword to it, like website schema. That's what it teaches. Audio is pretty much the same thing. There's a couple things that you'll get out of schema.org that says you don't need, but you do need them in the rich snippets testing tool. So be aware of that. And really the biggest things is the date, the way that the dates are formatted. So I think I have it in here properly. Let me see. Yeah. So this date time group, like if you use schema.org's test, regardless of the format, it works. But when you're using rich snippets testing tool, you have to have that version laid out. You just see some little things like that. So that's why it's always good to test in both of them before you publish. But there you go. It's how to implement web page schema. You can go to digitaleer.com, check out the blog post, get the template. And if you have any questions, as always, you can use the comments section down here. Again, they do not publish right now, but I am getting your comments, and I have a couple comments from a couple other people that I have to address and make some YouTube shorts just because it's easier. I can answer those. So I am seeing them. You do post them, and I will see them. They're just not getting published right now. And then you can also do that. Leave comments on the YouTube video as well, and I'll be able to answer your questions there. typically what I'll do is either answer them in the comments. I'll reply to you in the comment on YouTube, or I'll do like I'm going to do with the website comments, is either is an ad to just do a YouTube short for you and answer the question that way. Because if you have the question, then ultimately I'm sure other people have that question too. But you can see that all in play on the website. Link in the description below. And I'll see you next time.